Texas sets records for COVID-19 deaths and hospitalizations, a spike as schools across the state make plans to reopen.
We're dying to go back to work, but we are not willing to risk death to go back to work.
How state guidelines have Texas teachers facing questions about what's safe for students and themselves. Texas paid their unemployment benefits, but now the state wants the money back.
I don't know how I'm going to repay it. I don't work.
Why the state's mistake has Texans facing an unexpected expense. And despite coronavirus concerns, there's strong turnout for the runoff election. We'll look closer at some of the big races bringing Texas voters to the polls. Hello, and thank you for joining us for State of Texas. I'm Josh Hinkle, and today I'm joining you from my home studio. It's part of our effort to follow social distancing guidelines amid the coronavirus concerns, and those concerns are rising this week. Texas set new records for cases and deaths from COVID-19. For the first time, the state topped more than 100 deaths in a day. Hospitalizations also reached new highs. More people are being tested, but the rate of positive tests is also going up, passing 15%. The growing strain on hospitals led Governor Greg Abbott to order counties to suspend elective surgeries. The ban affects more than 100 counties across Texas. You see them highlighted here in red on this map. The counties in dark red, like Travis County, had previously been ordered to suspend elective surgeries. The order is to help make sure there are enough hospital beds for COVID-19 patients. The governor warned that the spike in COVID-19 cases will likely lead to an increase in the death toll, but he also said it's important to keep the state open.
When you look at the number of people who have been hospitalized over just the past couple of weeks, you can see that there may be more fatalities coming. What we need to do is we need to take action now. The thing about people wearing face masks, and the reason why I issued the face mask requirement, is that if everyone does wear a face mask, everyone can go into work wherever they may work. It could be a grocery store, it could be an office building, it could be any place. And that's the reason why we do that, because if you do wear a face mask, it will reduce the transmission of COVID-19, and that will bend the curve of this spike that we've seen.
The spike is happening at the same time Texas schools are considering plans to reopen in the fall. On Tuesday, the Texas Education Agency updated its guidelines for reopening. Now teachers across the state are weighing in. Concerns from them range from personal safety to how to enforce health protocols recommended by the TEA. For a closer look, we turn to our Maggie Glenn.
Josh, most of the teachers I spoke with all made a similar point. They say they want to be able to see and teach their students in person, but a lot of them are not sure if the pandemic will be under control enough to do so this coming fall.
How do we maintain a 6-foot social distancing level in our classrooms?
The Texas Education Agency's most recent guidelines have left teachers like August Plock with questions. The TEA is requiring every district to offer daily in-person classes in addition to online options. The guidelines also require students 10 years old and up to wear masks. The Dallas ISD superintendent says families are expected to comply.
We're not going to get in a tussle with the family, but we're going to expect it.
But it's left to the faculty to enforce these rules.
I don't know how much any of you have tried to get a 6th, 7th, or 8th grader to do something for almost 8 hours a day, but good luck getting them to keep their masks on and stay away from people for 8 hours a day.
Teachers are worried about the health and safety risks of in-person classes for students and employees.
We're dying to go back to work, but we are not willing to risk death to go back to work.
The president of Education Austin, a teachers union, is questioning whether the state's education commissioner can really withhold funding from schools that don't offer on-campus learning.
This is blackmail. He is forcing us to go in terms of going to risky places and challenge our funding. That money is not Mike Morass. That money is our taxpayers.
The union proposes that Austin ISD hold only online classes the first 9 weeks of the fall semester and assess week by week before deciding to open up campuses. If all else fails, they're telling teachers simply not to show up to in-person classes in the fall. Plock says he feels stuck in the middle, being both a parent and a teacher.
I recognize the best way to teach our students is in classroom, but I also recognize that it may not be safe for us to do that right now. And I know that there are a lot of teachers who are very scared about coming back into the classroom right now.
But says he'll be ready to teach in person if he must.
I guess I probably have those same fears myself, but at the same time, I recognize that I may be called on August 13th to start school.
Some districts in Texas will be allowing their higher risk teachers to teach online from their classrooms and let other teachers in that school handle the in-person student learning. For State of Texas, I'm Maggie Glenn.
If schools reopen in the fall, most will likely have students carrying COVID-19 on campus. That's what a UT researcher said during a virtual meeting of the Austin City Council. Dr. Lauren Ansel-Myers said if the virus keeps spreading like it is right now, a school with 500 students would see close to 20 students show up infected in the first week. But behavior like wearing masks could help make a difference.
We can and we have slowed the transmission of the virus through policies and especially through the decisions we make. And right now we are in a very kind of precarious moment with respect to the integrity of our healthcare systems and also with respect to how feasible it's going to be to open schools in the fall. And so, it's our responsibility to make the right decision.
The TEA's guidelines for reopening include health screenings, masks, and personal protective equipment. Many colleges also have plans to bring students back on campus this fall. One university is already testing what in-person classes will be like. Texas Tech University opened its doors to students last week for the first time since the campus closed in March. 350 students returned to campus for a limited number of summer courses. It's a way for the university to test protocols they plan to use in the fall. The results could influence how other colleges in Texas move forward.
Other university systems here in the state who have maybe delayed doing something similar because of the current rise in cases everywhere, and especially among college-age kids, young people, and they're holding off. They're looking at Texas Tech to see how it goes. Granted, 350 students is a fraction of their 10,000 plus they have enrolled for this summer session, and those 350 will be spread across 30 classes, and these are classes that are hard to do virtually, science labs, performance-based art, things like that. But yeah, they'll be watching, although there is a lot of skepticism that regardless of how this summer session shakes out, as far as if there are COVID cases that result, it won't change the plans for fall for Texas Tech or other universities as far as maybe not having or having in-person classes.
Texas Tech plans to begin fall semester classes on August 24th. However, the university did decide to cancel all of its study abroad programs this fall due to coronavirus concerns. People who need help paying their bills get a new bill from the state.
I was depending on this money to pay my bills, and now I can't. And I don't know what to do.
Why a mistake by the state has some unemployed Texans facing an unexpected expense. Plus, a package of much-needed stimulus money is stuck on Capitol Hill. We get answers from the state's senior senator about the timeline for the next round of relief funding.